It was alive, it had a pulse of its own, it was going all the time.
Buildings like this are important to show what it used to be like before it was all just a big built-up city.
It was quite an amazing place, described as the finest fire station in this round world when it was first built.
It's all sort of, it's industrial. It's fantastic.
This is one of the most important buildings of its kind in the world.
It's all closed up now, it's derelict. It's disgraceful. I came down London Road and the return gates were open and I walked in and stood on the yard. Looked around, what a dump. A voice behind me said, "I bet you used to work here, didn't you?" It was a security bloke, he'd seen me walking.
London Road Fire Station is it's a large Edwardian building and it's next to the main train station in Manchester city centre. It's been empty for 30 years, it will be this year. It was a really kind of lively, bustling place and for many years, but it's fallen into disrepair.
When you go there and stand with your back to Piccadilly railway station and look at it, look at the architecture of it, the actual construction of the building itself, it really is like a jewel in the crown. It's a beautiful, beautiful building.
It's just completely over the top. You know, it's got statues and sculpture and there's never been a fire station so ornate, and it was just as if they'd got all the money in the world to spend on it, and a complete and utter artistic license. Not to the point of being vulgar, it's magnificent. It's like the Palace of Versailles.
When I used to walk by it all those years, just the anger of seeing it decline is one of a kind because it's so lavish and extraordinary. Our forefathers made it with a huge amount of money. It was controversial at the time because it was the most expensive build that could be imagined.
I think it was just this affluence, and we are, we rule the world, and Manchester was where the money was being made. This is just an expression of mightiness, yeah. And it's something I think we need to hang on to.
Culturally, there's this kind of memory of the city, and I don't think we need to save everything. But there are buildings that are loved by people, or they've made a significant contribution to the history of a city.
I think you knew it was something special. It was like being sent to a naval college or something. You sort of rose to you realised that you were touching something historical and special, and not just bricks and mortar. It had been living for 60 years and it had been doing its job. I always felt privileged to be allowed to work in there or be in there, You
just kind of walk into old buildings and they have energy, there's energy that's gone into the walls and you can feel it, you can feel history. In the same way you can feel a kind of nothingness when you walk into a new build. There's like a lack of spirit that in the old buildings it's just filled with spirit. You can feel the personality.
I've got memories of working there and living there, good memories. It was of a parochial nature, although it was in a city setting. Everybody knew everyone else, and an enjoyable time all around.
It was my first station. I've seen quite a lot of life. I've cried, I've laughed, I've made good friends, I found a husband. I shouldn't say it that way. I met my husband. I didn't go purposely looking for one. I met my husband there, and I became part of the London Road family. I'm a firewoman through and through, and I'm a Manchester firewoman through and through as well. London Road. Yeah.
It's quite magical in its own way, and I think it's really forward thinking. I think that's why I've stayed in Manchester. I moved to Manchester for 1 year and I've been here for 17.
I've got the Manchester Civic Pride book. I love Manchester and I think people should come here and it's a great place. And I think there is a danger if you don't kind of respect the heritage of a city that you can lose your distinctiveness. And if you look like everywhere else, why bother coming here?
The buildings that define Manchester, the things that make Manchester different from Liverpool and Leeds and Hull, just to take a straight line across the country. We may have a new, modern, driven Manchester. We may be the most successful city outside London. But the thing which makes Manchester different is the old buildings. All the new buildings could be in Liverpool, they could be in Hull, they could be in Leeds. There's nothing Manchester about them. One or two of them are quite good. The rest are all mediocre.
We're losing a lot of that. We're losing that a lot of that identity. Buildings that should never have been demolished have already gone. So there's a lot of buildings that are just being built for functionality. They're very faddish, and it's bringing a really banal look. It's uglifying the city. It's blandifying the city. It's gentrifying the city. That's why we couldn't afford to lose London Road Fire Station. And it's one of the unique buildings that's still standing and hasn't already been demolished.
Just seeing the building functioning and lively again would contribute to that kind of memory of the city and memory of that building as a special place.
She needs to be brought back to how she was.
Yeah.
She needs to be warm and friendly like she used to be, for people to go in that building and say, wow, look at this building, it's fantastic, because it really, really is.